Hello everybody, I'm Sparrowhawk from the Advantage Players. I wanted to talk to you today about myths. Now, there's been a new myth that's been floating around that I have not seen addressed in any card counting book I've ever read. Some of them, I have no idea where the fuck they came from. And it's counting the burn card as -1. This is absurd. So we've ran simulations on this. And it does have a negative impact on your expected value if you count the burn card as -1. So that's one reason not to do it. If you want to save money, you want to make as much money as you can, don't count it as -1. You do not count a card unless you see it. What's the value of this? 0, because you didn't see it. Now, if the dealer is putting the card in and flashes you that king, that's -1, and you start your count at -1. So let's do a little thought experiment. You got a double deck. Dealer holds it out to you to cut it. You cut it right there, right? So this goes to the bottom, and this card gets burned. Now you're saying this got taken out of play, and so it's a -1. Well, guess what? All these cards below the cut card are taken out of play. You're not going to see these cards. You're going to count this as -36, something like that? No, that's ridiculous. Same thing, some casinos don't put a cut card on the back of the deck. So if you're sitting at first base or third base, sometimes you can get a peek at the back card. You should count that card if you see it. Another myth that I've heard is that on double deck, your running count is your true count. This isn't even true on single deck. Right off the bat it is, but as you get deeper, so this is 2 decks. So you take out half a deck, and now you are at a deck and a half remaining. Even if it's a +2 right now, this is not a +2. You're dividing by 1.5. You're still at a true count +1. You're rounding down. You are dividing by the number of decks that remain. Not the number of decks left to be, even if the penetration is 50% and only 1 deck is being played out of 2, you are still dividing by 2 decks at the beginning of the shoot. This isn't even true on single deck. When you're playing single deck, at the very beginning of the shoot, your running count is your true count. But then once you get through a quarter of a deck, you're dividing your running count by 0.75 to get your true count. When you're down to half a deck, you're dividing by the decks remaining, which is half a deck. You are dividing by 0.5. You are doubling your running count for your true count. So I've heard people say that they don't play single deck because they don't see the true count get high enough. This is absurd. Your true count can skyrocket with single deck. So please, if you're playing double deck, no matter, the penetration does not affect the numbers of decks left to be played. At the beginning of a double deck, there's always 2 decks remaining. You are always dividing by 2 at the very beginning. You should be doing quarter deck estimation on single deck and at least half deck estimation on double deck. Please do not count the burn card as -1 if you like money. And please, especially if you like money, do not say that your running count is your true count on double deck. Another myth I've heard is that if you jump in at a high true count, you have the odds in your favor. You never have the odds in your favor, no matter what the true count is. The advantage is in your favor. The house will win more hands than you will win, no matter the count. The advantage comes from being dealt blackjacks, from being dealt double downs and splits. Double downs and splits become much stronger of a hand at higher counts because of the higher density of 10s and aces. This is how we beat blackjack. How you beat blackjack is the long term. We are playing roughly a 1% advantage over the house. We are not playing to go in there one night for a couple hours and beat the casino. There's no guarantee of that. You are looking at hundreds of hours of play to see your expected value manifest. If somebody tells you you wait till a true count is 6 to jump in and you can't lose, they're full of shit. You never have the odds in your favor. Never.